Hello, my name's Matt and welcome to my review of the Panasonic AG CX10. It's a long name. So before we get started, I just wanted to let you know this isn't going to be a spec overview or anything like that. A lot of this is going to be my hands-on first take on how the camera actually performs. It's going to be very footage focused. So coming from the perspective of someone who's used DSLRs and large sensor cameras for the better part of my professional career, it's quite the change going from full frame sensors to a sensor from a camcorder. A lot of people who are entry level are coming in and getting DSLRs because it provides that easy cinematic look that I think a lot of people are going for right now. That cinematic look mostly derives from that large sensor size. The larger your sensor, the easier it is to throw things out of focus, have a shallow depth of field, which can be a bit more difficult with a camcorder style body. Being that a camcorder is much smaller than the DSLR body, it's harder to fit in those large sensors. So what I would say is if you're looking for an easy way to achieve that cinematic look, maybe this camera is not the best for you, but there are still ways you can achieve that cinematic look. If you look at some of the shots from this kayaking video I did last week, I feel a lot of them looked very cinematic, and that's just because there are a lot of other elements that feed into that feeling of movie-like imagery. Very quickly, I'm going to go over some of the things that I really like as someone who's coming from a DSLR and large sensor background to a smaller sensor camcorder like this. Autofocus. Autofocus is something that as a DSLR user, I did not get the privilege of using a whole lot of autofocus. I know that DSLRs and mirrorless cameras nowadays are improving their autofocus features, but these camcorders, you can't beat them when it comes to the autofocus. They've been doing it for years, and it's such an incredible feeling being able to just turn on my camera, press record, and I'm rolling, and I know everything's in focus. Tying into the autofocus, I would also like to talk about the facial recognition. It is very nice knowing that when I set this camera up for an interview style shoot or a walk-in talk or anything like that, I'm gonna be focused on whoever I'm filming because of this facial recognition feature. I know, again, some DSLRs are starting to implement this into their operating system, but this camera does it really well. Next, I'm going to talk about the InBody Stabilization. So I'm definitely going to reference some of the footage from my kayaking video for this part. I shot this entire video from inside of a kayak on a lake. So being that that entire shoot was pretty much done from a kayak that, could rock really easily, I was amazed with how stabilized the footage actually was all in camera. None of the footage that I uploaded in the video was stabilized in After Effects or Premiere or anything like that. That was all raw out of camera. So I am extraordinarily impressed with that InBody stabilization. So finally, I think this is kind of like the mission statement for this entire video, being that I'm someone who has come from a background of DSLR and large sensor shooting. I have always come from a place where I am using a lot of external other tools in order to create my videos. External audio sources, external lighting sources. By the way, I'm going to point this out. So check this out. This is one of my favorite features. Wow. I don't know if you can see it, but it is super bright. I did take some footage using this when I was doing a morning hike one day. I'll throw that in here just so you can see, but it was about 4:30 in the morning, it was pitch black, and having this light on here is such a lifesaver. So at this point in the recording, my H6 decided to jumble up my file, so the audio got really bad. For the rest of the video, I'm just gonna overlay some of the footage that I've taken over the past couple weeks since I got the camera and point out a few more things. The first thing being the color profile from the camera. So most of the footage that I used for these videos, I did very minimal color grading, if any. Actually, most of it I think was pretty raw, straight out of camera. And I absolutely love the color profile. I think it looks really nice, really clean, and it's always nice, you know, having that clean footage coming straight out of the camera. If you're shooting for a client that expresses that they want something very cinematic and movie-like, then this camera may not be the best option. This camera may not be the best option in that case. But for a lot of other situations, this camera is great. I shoot football games during the football season for a local high school, and I've tried shooting that with my DSLR, and it's very inconvenient. Those DSLRs aren't made to shoot very long record times. So we also film plays at a local theater, and every 8 minutes or so, our DSLRs either stop the recording or it creates a new file. So when we're editing the project together, we have to stitch all those files together. These camcorders are great because you don't need to do that. So there's a lot of really great applications for a camcorder style video camera. Like I said at the beginning of this video, this isn't really a spec review. This is more so my hands-on first impressions. It's been a couple weeks since I've got the camera. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you have any questions or if you feel like I missed anything or left anything out, please post something in the comments, let me know. I'll try and address it in a future video. Thank you very much. Have a great day.